Good afternoon, everyone. Gabe Velazquez here with you, TransparentTradeSolutions.com on a Friday, 5th day of May. We've got NASDAQ runaway freight train, I guess you'd call it. Let's get right into the charts. Um, question for everybody now is this is a bubble or not? You got stocks like Intel, just unbelievable moves. Haven't seen this since 2000. Now we'll see if this time is different. Never is. The only problem is you don't have any reversals yet. So let's get right into the charts here. Again, I'm doing this about an hour before the close, so things could change obviously before the close. Interestingly, the S&P is really just meandering today. There's nothing happening on the broader index. You can see the S&P just right above the highs, not that much further away, the recent highs. It's in fact trying to pull back. All of the action today clearly is in the NASDAQ, clearly is in semiconductors, stocks like Intel, Micron, even Nvidia trying to get to new highs. Apple's at a new high. So it's all mega caps. We will see, obviously, if how long that. I mean, these stocks are, these stocks and are huge parabolic moves, uh, but you just don't know where you don't know where they're going to stop. But when they do stop, at some point, they're going to have some massive pullbacks. It's, that's uh, if you knew when and at what price levels, obviously nobody knows that. So you just kind of watch it. If you're obviously in for the ride, you ride the momentum, you trail some stops, you maybe pare down your positions, but if not, you basically don't want to chase this right now. Interestingly, the Dow is not participating. So the Dow, in fact, is coming off the supply zone here, and let's see if there's any follow through or it actually tries to go after the highs. Russell similarly, it's all mega caps today. It's all, and when I say technology, I'm specifically talking about semiconductors. So that's where we're at here. Interestingly, the VIX has not broken. It's not really, you would typically see the VIX at 13, 12 when you're doing this, making these kind of moves, but it's not. So there's still some caution on the war and all that. Uh, other markets really not much happening in the dollar. Gold is trying to make a move here a little bit, but you can see a lot of these markets just kind of chopping around. You really have to be in the Nasdaq and Nasdaq related stocks. Even some of the software stocks are down pretty sharply today. I mean, there's a stock like what is that? Uh, yeah, there are a couple of stocks that are down like massive today. HUB, this one here is really interesting. It, this thing is down almost 47 points. HubSpot. It's kind of in the software, so it's not all up, and even some of these other stocks really not going. Even Palantir is not really doing much. Oil kind of just hovering too. Kind of just meandering about here. Obviously, still awaiting some kind of resolution. Maybe there's ongoing talks. Maybe we'll see what happens over the weekend. This literally could gap up to 100 over the weekend or gap down to I don't know 90. Literally, that's where you're at. We're kind of in that no man's land territory here. Nat gas just cannot get moving above 87, kind of just meandering here. Still looks like it's, had a nice pop after the inventories. I think if it can get above, 288 on the front month contract, looks like it's maybe possibly putting in a bottom. You see the kind of a reverse head and shoulders type of thing, but we still got to get this thing going. Also, the grain markets, interestingly, we had a nice move in soybeans off of that level right there, 1182. So, lots of movement elsewhere. Um, you see. wheat trying to bounce off 6, 7, and corn. So the grains are moving higher, which is somewhat of a, again, not a lot of people watching grains right now, but they're kind of tied to that um, situation there with the Middle East. Remember, a lot of that fertilizer and grains go through there. So it is interesting. On the soybeans are the most interesting, I think. If if let's see if they can punch through that 1226 level and see what happens there. Also, a bunch of stocks all over the place. I mean, you take your pick. It's really just a diverse set of stocks with the usual. I mean, this is still astonishing, really, the move in this thing. When this thing cracks, which again, have no idea from what price level it's going to crack. This thing's probably going to come down 20, 30 points probably in a day. I've seen this before. This is like back in the bubble days of the Nasdaq. But until then, you just kind of watch it and marvel at the move. In any event, go ahead and subscribe to the news. I'll be writing about some of the stuff this weekend. Um, and I'm going to start a new kind of mini lesson next week. So look out for that as well. And we'll see obviously what happens over the weekend with the war and how far this little mini bubble here is going to blow up and or inflate until it pops. In any event, have a great weekend. Take care.